when does it come out?
March 30th.
What's today?
The 14th.
14th.
I only know that because Spider-Man No Way Home is tomorrow.
Which
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that. That one and Batman are going to be the ones that.
Batman is in.
Oh, I don't know.
That'll be
that's
a couple
just
months.
That's just. I never ever want to physically own the movie.
Mm.
Dude, I almost
other than Spider-Man and Batman.
And I like the Nolan trilogy Batmans, but I don't
care to have them.
I almost rewatched them. They're on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't want to. Because he was my favorite Batman until Pattinson came in, and now I can't see.
I don't want to go back.
Now I can't see. Remember when I sent you the? What were they? I think they were screen tests for him being Batman, and he was like, "Because I'm Batman," and it was just like,
yeah,
it felt wrong.
Well, did you
I've
see
never
the thing
seen
where,
that.
It felt wrong.
It was Zoe Kravitz was. Is that her name?
Mm.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm not saying it
I
wrong.
think so.
She was auditioning for Catwoman, I believe, and Pattinson was fully dressed in the bat suit and like doing the bat voice, and apparently she started like improvising a little bit and going off script, and he was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, I can't improv in this voice." He was like, "Just read what's on there."
That's funny. That's funny.
Nice note.
It's my boy. My goodness. Anyway, my mind is
Oh yeah,
complete.
We're going to
butter
Batman
today.
again.
Yeah.
Moonknight.
Moonknight.
What people would say is Marvel's Batman.
Yeah, an interesting segue.
Yeah.
Like-
What did they post today? March
teaser.
14th.
Yes.
Dude, my mind is actual like dessert today. Yeah, I'm tired. I don't know anything about Moon Knight. I have one comic.
Yeah, I think I either have one or two, so I don't know much either.
Well, Kendall, take us away into this Moon Knight journey.
Into the Moonverse.
I mean, for the most part, it looks like they're staying pretty close to the origins, except Mark is usually the main guy and not.
Well,
I
it
think
looks like
is...
he gets the powers as Mark.
Like,
right.
Do you think it could be a scenario where like Khonshu took Mark? No, but it's the same person.
Well, did he have multiple personality disorder before Khonshu?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess just the fact that he was revived from the dead by Khonshu, maybe that just made it.
He was revived from the dead?
In the comics, he was.
So do you think that it would be a scenario where he does die, or they're just gonna?
Well, there's a portion in the trailer. Not in the one they just released today on the 14th, but a previous trailer. He's in Egypt at night, like surrounded by pyramids and like thrones, I would say. And there's people. There's a woman in a red dress. It looks like some sort of ritual is going on.
So that has to be a resurrection.
I don't know.
Some sort.
I feel like that's maybe when he binds with Khonshu.
And well, obviously we have to watch the show, but the trailers, it kind of seems like he was in Egypt.
Yeah.
And then he was wherever he's at.
Right.
Living
London
life.
or something like that.
Yeah. So I kind of want to see where they're gonna put it off to where does he go to Egypt like as like a vacation or for his work or study, or he dies.
Mark Spector is like a mercenary.
And
that's why it looks like he's in like an Egyptian city, maybe like chasing someone.
And but he looked like he had super like, I mean, he was like jumping over stuff like a superpowered.
Well, not
human.
that was.
Are you talking?
The scene I'm
are you
thinking
talking
of,
about
he's
the
dressed as like Mark Spector.
Yeah, the flashback.
Chasing someone through a.
Oh,
market,
that's why you're saying
through
flashback.
like a city market. Yeah.
I mean, that's not what that was referring to. Like, that wasn't referring to the other thing that we were talking about.
This show's going to be very confusing. Like the comics for him are kind of confusing.
Well, yeah, I'm just like they're gonna. Hopefully, they go into this without like a ridiculous amount of.
I think they have a plan.
Yeah, I know they have a plan. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking to MCU,
especially if each episode is like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, that's what they've been going with.
Yeah,
they're gonna do it.
They could explain a lot.
They can explain a lot, but they're not gonna do it cheesy.
I would say like 6 to 8 episodes, maybe.
Hopefully they do a 10er.
That'd be awesome.
Because then he's officially in the universe.
Yeah.
I think I read something about Kevin Feige saying he's not
Oh, shut up!
I
Don't
mean,
fight.
Start doing that.
Like he said he's going to be
done
in
with
it,
you.
but it has no. He said it has no ties to it or something like that.
Not yet.
And I was like,
but no, that's his
That makes
introduction.
sense. That this is going to be its own story, but
Yeah,
there better be
yeah.
mentions like this being in the same universe.
Once they get into like, you know, the different levels of stuff that we're going to get into now. We already have multiverse. We have like things that are plausible.
Yeah, at this
Moonknight's
point,
a
Marvel.
thing that, you know what I mean. Like everything is possible, and if this is going to bring in Moon Knight, hopefully, you know, into like our world.
At this point, they can't make things that are separate from the MCU unless it's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like What If.
even if it has no ties
but-
to
And
it,
even
it's
then, it
still
seems like
just
What If
there.
is connected.
Yeah, what
say?
if has connected some things.
I said even if it has no ties to it, it's still just there, like, you know, in it,
Yeah. Like
just
people-
without saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's understood it doesn't need to be said, type of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm fine if it doesn't reference past shows and movies like most Marvel stuff does, but
Yeah, it wouldn't need to.
Well, how I like
yeah, it
like,
doesn't- yeah, I don't think
but
it
then
needs
again,
to.
like it sucks because like the one comic I got like has the Avengers directly involved,
like in
with
conflict with
It. Yeah,
Are you talking about
Moon
when
Knight,
you
yeah.
recently got it?
yeah. So
Gotcha.
like I feel like something as powerful as Khonshu or an Egyptian god, that's gonna have some implications. Like if it's in the MCU universe, one of those beings are gonna sense that there's an Egyptian god running around.
And they even
know
showed
what I
a
mean?
scene where they're like, it looked like they're in another dimension, kind of. Like they're like those three things,
Well,
three figures
I
standing there.
I think that might be in Egypt or something, and that's just like
Yeah, that's
because
what I was
it looks like
thinking about,
Khonshu,
like
Mark,
that-
and then a third
I thought
person.
that was in Egypt.
That I think that might be like the trans
Unless
or
you guys are talking about
showing
something else.
Khonshu showing Mark Spector like what is in him, like
Okay.
you know what I mean, like showing him the possibilities of,
Because
and Mark just goes for it.
I
You
can
know
see
what I mean?
that.
it was the scene. It was like real dark and like purple looking.
Like the blue purple lines. Khonshu was obviously like this. And
Yeah.
it looked like Mark was beside him, and then a third something was beside Mark. But Mark is the original guy, right? Like
I honestly don't know.
Like yeah, that in the comics he is,
It's
but
Mark
in
Spector's
in the show they're taking the route of this current one you're seeing be the main guy.
But that's in
and
the
he has to
middle of
find
mental
out what
illness.
happened
But
to Mark.
What I'm assuming is that that's in the middle of mental illness, kind of like Shutter Island. Like he has that weird accent and all this stuff because he thinks he's someone else, and then the Mark Spector that he was seeing through is just like telling him that's his like mental illness. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
well, like he has multiple.
Right, that's his
So,
multiple personality,
yeah.
but that's like the disorder. You know what I mean? So like what we're seeing with the accent is still Mark Spector, but not
But
in his head.
What I'm
Like,
saying is, in the comics,
I'm asking.
90% of the time you're seeing Mark Spector, but in this show, it seems like 90% of the time you're going to be seeing.
And Mark
this
Spector's the guy with
current
the
guy.
gun that was talking to him.
In the comic that I have, he switches
A lot.
a lot.
Right.
Like
which
it's Mark Spector,
I think they're gonna do this.
and then it's Mr.
Yeah.
Knight, and then it's like
I get-
Khonshu.
I guess in the trailers that we've seen, Mark Spector is the reflection that is speaking with no accent,
Yeah,
and
that
then-
says he's gonna like tell him
and then the main
what he doesn't know.
the main
pretty
guy
much.
is still Mark Spector, but like there's just a personality disorder, and then Khonshu comes into the mix and adds more personalities.
Yeah, what's his name? Steven something.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of
Steven-
his personalities.
Stephen Grant.
With
Grant,
the,
yeah.
yeah, with the accent, right?
Yeah.
That's that's
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
They seem like they're focusing mainly him, and
Yeah.
Mark is just
That's at least who he starts
somewhat
off
in
as.
the
Yeah, that's
background.
how it's gonna. I feel like that's how it's gonna start it off, and that the reveal is gonna be, oh, I have a personality disorder when he meets Mark Spector,
Yeah.
and then Khonshu comes into the play, and then he's like, okay, I am really losing it.
What it seems like to me is they're going to introduce Mark like almost when they're done with the series, like
I
like
think
a little in the middle.
I think I'd be mad because then there'd just be too much.
Dude, I think he's
In the middle
I think
where
he's
I don't
gonna
know
be
what's going
switching
on.
constantly.
I think it will be a because like they already showed, like in the trailers and teasers that why'd you call me Mark? You know, like I feel like that's gonna be something that they introduce fairly early.
Yeah.
and they're just gonna be ding 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 ding.
And they said they're gonna like
Switching
really
around like crazy.
really dive into mental illness. So I feel like he has to be.
There was that one shot where he was in a mental
Yeah.
institution. Yeah.
And then when Khonshu comes into play, like the suit version, and then Moon Knight, like all the different versions, that's probably just gonna tie into his disorder and feel like he's going crazier and crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
And you can tell they're doing the route of Khonshu actually giving him enhanced abilities.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like he's going to have some sort of...
Which would make sense.
Like he said, he jumped across a 4-lane street.
Yeah.
Like, easy.
And just the way his suit comes on and the way he summons his little batarang. Moonarang.
Moonerang. I was gonna say Starrang.
Starrang.
Star Knight.
Oh god, that would be horrible.
No, but I'm for it. They said it was like a Fight Club meets Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah,
cool.
That sounds very interesting.
The Fight Club, obviously, I'm for it. Indiana Jones, I guess it would make sense because they're like Egyptian.
Yeah, they're gonna have fun with this
and that. But I don't know too much about it, like I said, but I feel like we're getting super spoiled.
Yeah, it seems like everything Marvel comes out with is just
I feel
really good.
I feel like with everything, even if we're talking like video games and like stuff, like we're just getting spoiled by good content.
I know in the comics, him and Blade work a lot together.
Yeah,
and they're bringing Blade in.
Well, that's
into
the thing.
MCU.
Like
they're like the Midnight Suns or something like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, like check this
that.
out. You know how I was kind of saying how they're introducing Moon Knight, and if he was in the universe, like obviously there's other beings in the universe that would immediately know that something's happening.
Blade's voice at the end of Eternals.
Yeah, like they know. Like there's levels to everything. You know what I mean? So if he's in the universe and he gets taken in modern time by Khonshu, and he like let's say in Marvel timelines, I think we have like 3 minutes. No, 6 minutes.
Nice.
So in like a Marvel timeline, everything's happening around like 2023, 2025, like in that area. So like if this happens in a different part of the country,
yeah, and that's what it seems
in
like.
Modern time,
they're overseas. It seems.
Yeah, and then Captain Britain could, you know what I mean, like that. They could start. I feel like it's not gonna be something separate. It's gonna be his introduction to everything, and then eventually there's gonna be
a sort of team up.
Yeah, and Captain Britain's shield is for sure in the poster for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, well, it's. I feel like they're just everything is gonna have to tie in.
I thought they were referencing Captain Carter. In that.
Oh, is that not the same person?
It is, isn't it? Captain Britain is technically Captain Carter.
I don't know if they gave her that. I can't remember if they gave her the title, but Captain Britain.
I feel like they're giving her that title though.
Mainly is currently a guy like Captain America.
Oh, isn't there like a British Spider-Man too?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
But those characters don't exist in the MCU.
Right. That's I think they're giving like Carter the mantle of like Captain
in the
Britain.
MCU. I would guess that she's Captain Britain. Because they're like they would have mentioned some Captain Britain running around by now.
And having Khonshu and Moon Knight getting into the mix, now we're getting into a different territory. Like with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, more Mephisto talks and everything.
Yeah.
Blade, and then in the Multiverse of Madness where you see the group with like, dude, stuff is happening.
And not to mention, if Ghost Rider's coming along at some point, which he's a member of the Midnight Suns,
and
they gotta bring in Mephisto.
And he's directly from that book. The Darkhold, which was shown in like one, like they're showing us that it's gonna happen. So if they brought in Moon Knight and it just wasn't
led nowhere, I'd be furious.
That's ridiculous. And they have something like the actor who's incredible.
Yeah,
I've been excited to see him.
Amazing,
do it
because he was in Dune, right?
Yeah,
he was
I mean, for a little bit.
For a little bit, you're right.
Spoiler,
dude. He did so well, though.
He did, yeah.
For that little bit,
he was in there. Yeah, he's there.
I just asked if he was there.
Yeah,
he made an appearance.
But
he was good though.
I'm excited for it. I want them to go a dark, brutal route.
Me too.
It definitely seems.
If they're gonna touch on like the mental,
and I think him and Daredevil work together quite often too.
Yeah,
and he's
Daredevil
in the world.
might be part of the Midnight Suns too.
He's in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have the opportunity here, and they're gonna kill it. I have no doubt in Marvel at all. Period.
Yeah, me either.